Thank you, Presiding Officer. I welcome the opportunity and I'm proud to speak in favour of Scottish Labour's motion today on tax credits. Tax credits have helped millions of families up and down the country since they were introduced by the last Labour government. They were instrumental in lifting over 1 million children out of poverty during the last Labour government by putting money into the pockets of working people. And today they currently support nearly 50,000 families in West Scotland, 350,000 families across Scotland and over 3 million people up and down the UK. I have spoken to literally hundreds of people, including some of my own family members, who rely on this vital support. They are so important to so many people. That's why it's scandalous that the Tories now want to take this support away from working families. What is even more scandalous is that David Cameron and the Tories broke their promise to the Scottish and UK public earlier this year. David Cameron told millions of working people during the general election campaign live on national television that he would not cut tax credits, and yet he is planning to cut tax credits now. At last week's Prime Minister's Questions, we saw Jeremy Corbyn ask the Prime Minister 6 times whether any working families would be worse off as a result of these changes in April next year, and 6 times David Cameron did not give a straight answer. However, the questions we are asking today is whether the SNP government and others will join with Kezia Dugdale and Scottish Labour's call to give a clear commitment to help working families in Scotland, and by agreeing that, if necessary, we will restore the money lost through tax credit cuts to working families. We know what Nicola Sturgeon has said about tax credit cuts on 25th of June. She said, cuts of that magnitude will have a significant impact on families and poverty levels in this country, and they will push more people into relying on services such as food banks. So, as usual, we have nice warm words from Nicola Sturgeon and Alex Neil today, but working families need more than that. What working families don't need is excuse after excuse from SNP members who appear keen to find problems and highlight reasons not to act. Because we all know... Yeah, by all means.
Alex Neil.
I don't know if the member was in when he heard my speech, but I gave on behalf of the government a very clear commitment. Once we know what the further changes are that the Chancellor has said he will announce on the 25th of November, we will then look at what gaps need to be filled, and we will take whatever action is necessary. That is a sensible thing to do. It's the detail of Labour's proposals, quite frankly, have not been properly thought out. We need to think out the detail, and we need to do the thing properly at the right time.
Mr Bibby.
If you want to give the clear commitment to working families in Scotland, you will withdraw your amendment and support Labour's motion this afternoon. Because we all know you have the power to act. We've been saying it, the Scotland Office have been saying it, Spice have said it, and even Alex Neil appears to be saying it this afternoon. We heard it on the bedroom tax, Presiding Officer. The SNP saying that we can't act. They actually said legally they couldn't take action to mitigate the bedroom tax until Labour-run Renfrewshire Council showed you how it could be done, and Labour in this chamber put it forward as a budget amendment. The bedroom tax is actually cited in the SNP amendment, so let's not tell families across Scotland that we cannot take action. Where there is a will, there is a way. The question isn't whether there is a way for the SNP, the question is whether there is the political will. This, as Jackie Baillie said, is a defining day for the Scottish Parliament. Will we decide to exploit the political argument or do the right thing and give people a clear commitment to those who need it? We know, and the SNP know, that you have the power and you have the resources too. Labour has said we wouldn't abolish air passenger duty, costing £250 million in the process. Helping families and stopping children falling into poverty has to be a bigger priority than cutting airline taxes. And if SNP members think the opposite, then you have your priorities all wrong. We can also achieve the resources needed by making different decisions than George Osborne on tax rates without anyone having to pay any more tax than they're currently paying today. We can make this socially just policy work if we have the political will to do so. So there's a number of key questions left. If the SNP want to mitigate the cuts, and they, as Claire Adamson said, have a well put together and costed plan, what is it and where is it? And given Alex Neil's comments on having the powers and questions over the competency of the amendment, are they going to withdraw the amendment? And are they actually going to vote against Labour's motion tonight that calls for the firm action to restore the money lost through tax credits. Presiding Officer, Scottish Labour has put forward a motion today that can begin the process of supporting working families in Scotland, and I urge all members opposite, if they are serious about doing the same, then to vote for the Labour motion tonight. Thank you.